Hi, welcome to the channel. Well, I'm talking today about the 40th anniversary of David Bowie's song, Let's Dance, and specifically the clip of Let's Dance, which was revolutionary for its time on Australian society. And revolutionary for me as an Indigenous kid in a small town in the outback, as international people would know what it's called. I was in sort of Central Australia, and it was, a very insular sort of way of living. Australia was very sort of British-centric. And, to this day, I mean, there's a bit of a schism between us and Indigenous people and non-Indigenous people. But, slowly things are getting better. But back then, it was very sort of, the sort of influence is very all about Britain, Great Britain, the, so-called mother country. That was the main sort of narrative. And that was from the elites, because you got to understand, media was very different back then. It was traditional media. It was, you got told what to think by the elites through, news broadcast and sort of the government narrative. Politicians were very cozy with sort of media owners, which they are still to this day. But the internet has changed their influence. So, most people aren't really, only people of a certain generation, of that generation, still listen to traditional media. Most of today, younger generations have moved on to the internet. And so there's a public discourse which could never have happened back then. So David Bowie's song, and specifically the video clip, which depicted Indigenous people in a light, or in a setting of capitalism, and modern capitalism and 80s capitalism, it was a great video, and it showed Indigenous people in a positive light. And the whole message of it was, basically for Indigenous people to reject capitalism. So yeah, it really spoke to me at the time to have this international, rock legend. I mean, even at that time, he was a rock legend. It was, mind-blowing for me to see him make a video, and in familiar places and familiar things that I recognized, and to see people that look like me in his video. It was monumental, and it was quite a game changer. And it was the first sort of, it was such an iconoclastic sort of video, I think, for Australian society, because Australia at the time had its own view of itself. So for someone to come from England, the mother country, contradicting that narrative, really changed everything. It really caused a, sort of schizoid schism in the zeitgeist of Australian thinking. And it was amazing. And it really sort of, I was already a fan of David Bowie, but yeah, this really spoke to me and changed me. and basically led me on my path on activism to this day. He was an inspirational man, because not only as a music artist, but also as a filmmaker. He'd been in various sort of movies. He came over to Australia at that time and also filmed, I think it was Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence. And yeah, he it was amazing stuff to see. So to see international rock icon David Bowie with Aboriginal people in his video, it's something that totally sort of changed my worldview and sort of spoke positively that the narrative that came down from the elites in Australia was that, Aboriginal people bad, and so that's the way society viewed us. So it was amazing to sort of see this positive image by such a notable person. And, he really used his platform for good and our benefit. So, yeah, that was all I was wanting to say. So, yeah, if you get a chance, check out the video. It's a really cool little video. It was filmed in sort of country New South Wales. I think it was Lightning Ridge, from memory. And it's a great sort of snapshot and time capsule of Australia at that time. Where they're standing in the pub, and I'd seen those sort of pubs all the time, travelling around to small country towns around the bush. So, yeah, and to see sort of familiar faces of people that, you'd see everywhere, it was mind-blowing. So, yeah, if you ever get it, most of you know it, have seen the video, but yeah, watch it again. Yeah, I urge everyone to check it out. And yeah, that's all I got to say. So, if you've made it to the end of the video, thanks. Please, if you find it in the goodness of your heart, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.